Alright, hey guys, this is Alex with another vlog for the Personal Musicianship Project, and we'll be talking about teaching the new instrument to other players and reflecting on the teaching process. So I taught one of my friends the guitar. He's never played it before, and I just basically told him like the basic concepts, like how to hold the guitar, like what the frets are, what the strings are, what the notes are, and had him play simple tunes just by single notes. I didn't really start with any guitar chords yet, but besides that, he can play little melodies like on the guitar, pretty simple. Um, so it's from my experience, the guitar seems like an instrument that that's a pretty simple instrument that almost anyone can pick up, even non-musicians. Like we see like a lot of closet musicians can know how to play the guitar pretty well, and I just think personally that the guitar is just a very simple. Well, it's not really. I don't want to say that, but it's more simple to pick up and play and more enjoyable to play than like any like other traditional instruments such as the trombone or the flute. I don't know why exactly it seems like that, but it just seems like an instrument that people people who aren't musicians can enjoy more and can pick up and play pretty decently. Um, so from what I learned here is that when you go teach something like this, that you have to be able to explain stuff pretty well, and you have to explain stuff in different ways. Like if he doesn't get one thing that you're trying to say, you try to describe it another way. Try to put everything in the context for him. Like for example, like from what we do in Clean right now, we're doing our tech instruments where we're learning instruments where we never played before, and we're supposed to well, obviously in the long run, we're supposed to teach the instruments to other players and to other students who's never played the instrument before. So we're not even, and that this isn't our instrument. We're not well versed in in this instrument. So we're not. It's really unfamiliar for us, especially when we try to teach it. So, like, obviously, in order to do that, you have to have a pretty good understanding of the instrument itself. And once you do that, you find ways to put things in the context for the students when you try teaching them these concepts. Like, for example, strumming the guitar or finding fingerings for the notes. Like, for example, like before I knew how to play bass guitar before I played guitar pretty well, and because I knew that have that knowledge of playing bass guitar, like there's a lot of similarities between the bass guitar and guitar that I put everything in the context. So like for example, like the E, A, D, and G string are all the same in the guitar, except there's just two more strings added to the guitar, and everything is just seems more compact. That the strings are more tightly together, while the bass guitar it's much more spread out. And the reason why is so you can play chords on the guitar, but you can't really do that with the bass guitar. But because I had that knowledge, it enabled me to like learn it pretty better. Well, not faster, but it was easier for me to learn it than from compared to someone who had no musical experience or instrumental experience at all. But the friend I taught briefly was he's a cranny. He's a musician, so he knows like the notes. He knows like the interval relationships and the rhythm, so that's not too hard. The only thing I had to teach him was to find out where the notes are, some techniques on how to play, on how to hold it, and that kind of stuff. But like, if I were to teach it to a student who's never had any musical experience or background, doesn't know what a quarter note or half note is, like I would still teach him like how to hold it and where the notes are. I would just then later when I actually teach him theory on music, then I'll tell him to put the notes, the half note, the quarter note, the A, the B, the C, the D flat, all that stuff in the context with everything. And I think that's the key on being able to teach instruments, is to be able to put things in the context pretty well, and to explain things, and to be able to show and demonstrate and to explain these concepts in more than one way, because students aren't always going to get it the first time. They might need another explanation, or they might not quite get it, but another different way that they can relate to will help them understand it more. But it was a really interesting experience doing that, and this isn't really my first time doing something like this, but it just reinforces the idea that you just have to have these concepts, these ideas in your head when you teach someone. Because when they can get a visual idea of, or when they can relate to something that they're relatable to, it just makes the whole process much easier for them. Alright, and that's it. That's the end of this blog, and I'll see you guys next time.